Welcome back to another clay video. Today we are going to create the cooking pot from Tears of the Kingdom. And then I'll be using this pot to cook some recipes for my pets. So for this video, I'm going to be using some 3D printed parts. Just for the pot though, everything else is going to be clay. Surprisingly, this base came out super nice. There's absolutely no work that needs to be done to it. And in case you're wondering, this is the support material that helps hold it up while it's printing. The lid, however, I thought printing it face down would be the best way to do it, but it turns out the supports inside of the pot are nearly impossible to remove, and the handles got really ugly, so instead of printing it like this, I decided to print it like this. And we get a very big flat spot on the bottom, and also the bottom just looks completely ugly, but you're not going to see it anyway because it's going to be on top of the stand, so we're just going to use this one. Now with our pot assembled, let's break out the clay and start creating some ingredients. Like usual, I had absolutely no plan in mind of what I was going to do, so I just kind of made the first ingredients that came to mind. The first, of course, was some meat, because I want to make a nice hearty beef stew. So I'll be using this pinkish white clay for a wrapping of fat around the outside of the beef. Through all of the countless hours I played Breath of the Wild, I pretty much never ate any meat because I just couldn't bring myself to actually hunting the animals. They're not doing any harm, they're just enjoying the world. But I had no trouble eating fish, which is odd because that's exactly the opposite in real life. I am not a fan of fish. So apparently I don't know what beef looks like because this just did not turn out well. So after looking at a picture of an actual steak, I'm gonna add this little triangle here, and I think that looks a lot better. I'd say that looks like a nice juicy steak, so let's move on to our next ingredient, which is going to be the hearty beet. This is fairly simple, we just need to create a heart shape, and then we can add on some leaves for the top part. And you don't have to worry about any spoilers in this video because, well, at this time I haven't even played Tears of the Kingdom yet. I plan on spending the next 3 days straight after uploading this video just playing Tears of the Kingdom. I want to add some color variation into our stew, so let's create some of these icy mushrooms. For some of these things, I'm sorry, I really do not remember the names. But you're just gonna have to believe me that it's a real ingredient in the game. This one is called something like the Endurance or Enduro Carrot, something like that. And it is extremely easy to create. So let's go on to creating an egg, which guess what? It's even easier. That's it. Takes about 2 seconds to make an egg. So now that we have our ingredients, let's take a quick break and try cooking in this pot. First we have some tan, some pink, and a few sprinkles of other colors. I think you see where this is going. Aha! A pink donut. Now let's try something different. Maybe a Mario coin, this clay monkey, and a Kit Kat? Okay, maybe it doesn't work every time. Now let's see if my pets like my cooking. First we have Clover. He will pretty much eat anything, so I guess he's not really a good judge. Next up we have Kelvin, who is extremely gentle with food. Unlike the other two cats, he actually likes to enjoy his food. And then we have Mooney, who is not always the brightest. And on top of that, he never chews his food, he just swallows it whole. Last, but certainly not least, is Zippy, and his favorite thing to eat is oats. It looks like he eats them super fast, but he actually just fills them in his cheeks and goes and stashes them in his house. And now we are ready to get baked. While that's baking, let's use some UV resin and this reddish brown dye to create our broth. After giving it a good mix, I think that looks like a nice beef broth color. So I want to do a little test run. Since UV resin actually gets really hot while it cures, I've heard of it burning through filament, and yeah, I don't have one of those fancy purple lights, so I just go outside and let it sit in the sun for a while. Our first test actually seemed to work out really good. So let's go ahead and pour a bunch of this into our pot and start adding in some ingredients. I'm only going to add in some of the ingredients right now, and then I'm going to cure the resin. Now let's add some more resin, and then stick those ingredients on top of that, which gives it a nice layered effect, and I think it looks a lot better than just piling them all in there. Finally, our egg, and that is our final details. So here it is, the cooking pot from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I'm glad my thumb is healed and I can finally start making these videos again. I want to give a huge thanks to all of my supporters over on Patreon. If you want to see pictures and videos of what I'm working on during the week and have your name at the end of my videos, then head over to Patreon and check out my page. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.